So we're from Impact Fellowship. This is Claude Jennings. He's the pastor. I'm his wife. I'm Sierra Jennings. We meet inside the Old Greenbelt Community Center generally before COVID-19. So we wanted to come out here and do a march rally today. It's called Faith, Justice, and Unity Rally and March.
I mean, we were out here simply because, you know, it's easy to shake your head when you see the news headlines. It's easy to get discouraged, and it's also easy to separate. But we think there's more power when we come together, and that anyone can just come together. We can come out for justice. We can come out for unity, and come out because we believe that as Impact Fellowship, that those who are people of faith should lead the way with love and with peace and with unity. And so we had folks come out, play some good music. We heard from the mayor, and we took a march.
Nearly 28 years ago, I became one of the luckiest newborn babies on planet Earth. Because when I came home from the hospital, my parents brought me home to a house in Greenbelt, Maryland. 28 years ago in Los Angeles, California, a man by the name of Rodney King posed a simple but difficult question for America. Can't we all just get along? 28 years later, that question remains. Let me wait for the plane. 28 years later, that question remains, and I ask it with sincerity to the people of Greenbelt and to the people of this county. To the people of Prince George's County, I ask this question with an open mind because while I want that answer to be a resounding yes, I am painfully uncertain about whether that is really the true answer. Over the past month, following the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I've watched people across this country and across this city have a shift in awareness and attitudes on race and policing. I've watched many white Greenbelters and black Greenbelters and brown Greenbelters, old Greenbelters, East Greenbelters, and West Greenbelters come together to demand that the Greenbelt city government make changes to our policing laws, policies, and practices so that there is indeed more accountability and more transparency in Greenbelt policing.
I'm here today because I recognize that in many ways there's a sense of division in the city around some of the tough questions that we've been grappling with over the past month or so, and really beyond that, but particularly over the past month or so around race and policing. I wanted to show my support for this because, to be candid, this was about unity. I'm not sure that they were quite there yet in practice, but I do appreciate the attempts that members of our community right now are making to build bridges rather than burn bridges. And so with that in mind, I wanted to give some remarks that I thought spoke to some of the issues at the time, in particular the challenges that we face when it comes to unity and how we can go about overcoming those. To be honest with you, it's not going to be easy, but I believe that if we have a sincere commitment to listening to one another, and seeking mutual understanding, I think ultimately we will get there.
You know, so we're coming together as one community, one people, one voice, rising as one. No matter if you're black, if you're white. Black Lives Matter is something we all can get behind. Because it was once stated many, many years ago that true justice will never happen until the unaffected are just as outraged as those who are affected. So you see a lot of allies out here because they know they're not affected, but they are affected because their neighbors are affected. Their friends are affected. Their loved ones are affected. So they're out here marching for change.
We're here to fight for justice and reform because reform is needed, regardless of that. We know there's good cops, there's bad cops, but the reason we need reform is to make people, those bad cops, accountable for the things they do, because we want to make accountability the key phrase here. Accountability for not doing the job and making those other officers who do their job the right way look bad, because when you are a bad cop, you put a black mark on the entire profession. There are a lot of good cops out there who go out, risk their lives, and we appreciate them. But there are a lot of those who do not, and I repeat, do not uphold the badge, do not uphold the oath as they should as officers. So we're out here marching for justice, letting folks know Black lives matter. Black lives do matter, and they do matter today, they matter yesterday, and forevermore. And until folks understand that, we'll never have the true change and reform that we need in the city, in this country and our society as a whole.
A couple of things. Number one, we've got 2 coolers with water in them. Please grab some water for the walk. The walk's going to be about a mile in totality. We're going to go up towards the BW Parkway bypass, which is about a mile, which is about a half mile. We'll do a moment of silence there, and then we'll come back here. Also, big shout out to the Greenbelt Police Department for helping to organize and keep the roads safe for us. When we first started organizing, my wife Sierra, the first person she reached out to was the police department, and I'm talking about quick response, helpful response, and I mean, they just really helped out. And so thank you guys so much for being able to help us out. And from what I understand, our buddy's going to walk with us too today. So thank you so much for being a part of this, and for all of your officers as well.
I believe that what we need in this community is unity. I cringe at the idea that one must ever make a choice between opposing police brutality and supporting Greenbelt police. Because my hope is that at the end of all of this, Greenbelt police and their supporters will totally buy into the notion that Black Lives Matter without reservation, and that we can do better here in Greenbelt. My hope is also that as these conversations progress, the relationship between the community and the police is one of most mutual respect, even as changes do and must take place, and even as debates take place. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Greenbelt policing has the level of issues that we have in Minneapolis or Louisville or Baltimore or Ferguson. But as a 27-year-old black man who is from Greenbelt, and as the mayor of my beloved hometown of Greenbelt, I cannot stand here with a straight face and look at this diverse audience and tell you that Greenbelt policing is unblemished when it comes to race and policing. There is a time and a place for everything, including supporting the police. But when Dr. King and others were in the civil rights movement trying to desegregate restaurants and theaters, it wasn't time for Americans to focus on talking about all the good times that they had at Restaurant A or Restaurant B. It was time for them to boldly confront the fact that people working and owning restaurants and theaters throughout these United States of America weren't always treating everybody with the respect and dignity that every human being deserves.